Welcome to the Healthy Skin Show with Jennifer Fugo, where we're flipping everything you've been told about your chronic skin issues upside down and connecting you with alternative solutions your dermatologist never told you about.
Welcome back to episode number 111 of the Healthy Skin Show. In today's episode, I want to talk about a potential sign of psoriasis that can show up in your mouth. This particular issue is called geographic tongue. I know, it's such a weird name, but bear with me. I had honestly never heard about it until a number of people wrote to me to ask about it. Not everyone with psoriasis has geographic tongue, but like psoriatic lesions, it can make you feel incredibly embarrassed about the look of your tongue. This is a reminder that signs and symptoms of a condition can show up in very unexpected ways and in areas of the body that you wouldn't normally expect. And that's why I constantly tell you to consider all symptoms so that you can get a much clearer picture about what is going on. Since I believe that everything is typically connected, it makes sense that geographic tongue could have implications for other areas of your body. So if you've noticed a funny pattern on your tongue, here's what could be going on. In the case of geographic tongue, you might have noticed these weird, funny, swirling patterns on someone else's tongue or maybe your own, and it probably has caught your eye. Patterns that appear on the surface of the tongue are typically referred to as geographic tongue. It's a painless condition affecting the top of the tongue. Patterns seem to form that resemble strange designs or even a map, which is actually where the name geographic tongue comes from. Though it's possible for the patterns to go away, oftentimes they can end up reappearing elsewhere on the tongue. This issue is typically diagnosed by your doctor or even a dentist because obviously it has to do with the mouth, though it's not fully understood what even causes it. I found some conflicting information on who even gets geographic tongue. Some sources will say that it affects older adults in midlife predominantly, while other sources found that it's more common in children, especially females. One similarity between geographic tongue and living with skin rashes is that sometimes people can be very uncomfortable around you. I remember with my own skin issues, people thought that my hands were actually infected or diseased, when in actuality it was just eczema. Well, the same can go for geographic tongue. And that's one of the big things is that people think that you're infected with something because your tongue looks very different than a normal tongue. But the reality is that geographic tongue is not contagious. Aside from the visual appearance, most people don't really notice anything else, other symptoms or anything about their tongue. But there are some that do. They'll find that certain substances will bother or irritate their tongue. Triggers can include hot food, spicy food, acidic food, or even your toothpaste and mouthwash. Some symptoms can include tongue pain or even burning. The reason that I'm talking about this today and what really caught my eye is that on some websites, I've seen geographic tongue referred to as, quote, psoriasis of the tongue. But that might not actually be the case because other research has found that not everyone who has geographic tongue also has psoriasis, though the two tend to have the highest association out of geographic tongue and other conditions. Other circumstances or conditions where geographic tongue can show up include diabetes, Down syndrome, pregnancy, and even certain medications could be an issue. Medications like oral contraceptive pills and lithium carbonate. Allergies and nutritional deficiencies could also be triggers along with hormone imbalances in women. And what's also interesting is there could be a potential shared genetic component here due to, quote, the presence of a common genetic marker, the human leukocyte antigen, HLA-CW6, end quote. Another interesting study looked at the incidence of geographic tongue and those with psoriasis. What researchers found is that there appeared to be an interesting connection between those who had both of these issues and lifestyle choices such as alcohol use. It's not uncommon for those with psoriasis or psoriatic arthritis to even end up with permanent fissures on their tongue. One paper that reviewed several different studies found the, quote, prevalence of fissured tongue ranging from 9.8% to 47.5%, and of geographic tongue between 5.6% and 18.1%, end quote. Either way, studies seem to show that an oral examination by your doctor or your dentist to check the health of your tongue is warranted. If you do find yourself in the boat of dealing with geographic tongue, the ways that others seem to go about dealing with it vary. If you believe that you have geographic tongue, I honestly tell you I think the best thing to do is make an appointment with your dentist or doctor to get an official diagnosis, especially because fissures on the tongue can end up being permanent. From what I could find, the following seem to be the conventional route for treating geographic tongue. There are special mouth rinses that could be more on the antihistamine or antiseptic side, pain relief used orally. There's also mouth rinses that contain corticosteroids, and sometimes doctors will even use B vitamins or zinc supplementation. In most of the articles I read online, nothing is typically done, actually, if there are no other symptoms present. But the reality is that as a clinical nutritionist, the potential for geographic tongue to be a sign of nutrient deficiencies underscores why this is something not to just blow off if you have it. Increasingly lower levels of crucial nutrients can have a profound effect on your health, with or without psoriasis. The Cleveland Clinic notes that nutritional deficiencies play a potential role here. They listed out the following deficiencies as potential triggers for geographic tongue: zinc, iron, folate, vitamin B6, and vitamin B12. Since a history of birth control use is a risk factor, it further underscores why looking at nutrient stores is important. Birth control pills are known to deplete B vitamins like folate, B6, B12, and riboflavin, as well as zinc. I've also found many of my psoriatic clients to have lower or deficient levels of some of these nutrients. That's why getting labs run, which are often covered by insurance, by the way, can be really helpful. And it underscores why looking to symptoms outside of your skin, as well as getting a really complete history, is so critical to helping you get answers. I hope that this has been helpful, and if you've got geographic tongue, I would love to hear how you found out about it. Or if you suspect that you may have geographic tongue, I've got some photos for you to check out. Head on over to skinterrupt.com/111 to check out the photos and to share your experience. I would love to know how you take care of your tongue, any symptoms that you have, and if this has been a part of your psoriasis journey. And before you leave, remember to rate, review, and subscribe to the show. That way, the next episode lands on your mobile device without you having to do a thing. And lastly, share this episode with someone you know who either has or suspects geographic tongue, or maybe they've got psoriasis and it might be a good opportunity to encourage them to look at other things like their nutritional stores. Knowing that the two are connected could help them realize the importance of looking at their nutrient levels. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next episode.